from the station working for you. This is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Well, it is 5 o'clock here on your Tuesday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
Good morning to you, Lauren. I'm Rafael Sanchez, and these are your headlines on this December the 8th. The pandemic is creating some tough conditions at the Marion County Coroner's Office. This morning, the latest on the coroner's request for extra funding.
Plus, plans for a new YMCA is drawing some criticism. New this morning why neighbors say it's putting a beloved park in danger.
And changes are coming to a busy downtown street. Working for you, we're looking at how the changes will impact drivers and bus riders heading into downtown Indianapolis.
And here at 5 o'clock, we want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. And Rafael, good to see you there in Johnson County this morning. Talk to us a little bit about, have you stepped outside today? I know you were going to wait till Wednesday, right?
Well, I'm going to wait till Wednesday, but I did crack the window this time, just a little bit open. And I thought, you know what? Not really. I'm going to close that window up and just enjoy being in the living room, your official WRTV living room. And Alyssa Donovan, good morning to you on this Tuesday.
Good morning. It is cold outside again this morning, so close the window, Rafael. Stay inside for another day. It's in the 50s tomorrow. That's the good news. Right now, we are in the 30s across the area, 34 right now in Indianapolis. We have that cold air that's just settled into place across the Midwest. That is going to push out in the next 24 hours, but it is here to stay throughout our Tuesday. And we also have a lot more cloud coverage coming in this morning. That's all due to a system that moved through overnight. That just brought us some clouds, a little moisture in the air. And so we are seeing those clouds to start your Tuesday morning. We'll continue to see plenty of cloud coverage throughout our day. And due to those clouds, we're not going to warm up as expected. So we're only going to stay into the upper 30s again. Now, the good news is it's not going to feel as chilly outside today as it did yesterday. And that's because we're starting to see those winds shift. They were out of the north yesterday, so we had that cool Canadian air coming in. Today, they're going to shift more southerly, which means it will be into the upper 30s, but it won't feel as cold outside. Today, we're starting in the upper 20s and low 30s into the upper 30s this afternoon. That big warm up still on the way in the 7-day. I'll have more details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this morning. This is I-70 and Sherman Drive over on the east side. Right now, not monitoring any crashes or issues there for your commute, so that is good news. Just keep in mind if you're traveling between Marion County and Hancock County, we do have some scheduled road construction, some intermittent lane closures on I-70, both eastbound and westbound between County Road 600 and Indiana State Road 3. So just keep that in mind. That's going to last through Friday, December 11th at 4 p.m. But right now, as you can see right here, as you're heading into the downtown area or heading away from downtown, no problems on your east side commute. Rafael?
So, Lauren, the Marion County Coroner's Office will get more money. The City County Council unanimously approved an additional $275,000 to the coroner's 2020 budget. That money will help pay for extra staff and personal protective equipment. The pandemic is contributing to an overwhelming workload for the Marion County Coroner's Office. Last week, Chief Deputy Coroner Alfie McGinty, she told WRTV that investigators normally handle about 150 cases through this time of year. Most of them are now handling more than 350 cases.
You cannot conduct that many investigations and there not be errors. And we are not able to keep up with serving the community, with providing autopsy reports and death certificates and those kind of things. And so, it causes a backlog.
So let's put this all in perspective, because McGinty says in addition to COVID-19 deaths, the coroner's office is also dealing with a significant increase involving homicides, suicides, as well as natural deaths.
Well, now we want to go to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and the continued impact on our state. On Monday, the state health department reported 5,700 new cases of COVID-19. That's the lowest single-day report since last Tuesday. Health officials also confirmed 42 more Hoosiers have died with the virus. Since March, nearly 6,000 people in Indiana have died with COVID-19. On Monday, state health officials also updated the school dashboard. The latest update shows 2,300 new student cases and nearly 1,200 teacher and staff cases of the virus. This morning, 198 Indiana schools have now reported their coronavirus cases to the state health department.
Let's now travel to Delaware County, where the YMCA of Muncie wants to consolidate their two facilities into just one building. Right now, the plan calls for an entirely new facility at Toohey Park. But some residents, like Beth Messner, are not buying into that plan. The YMCA says the park is their best option because of visibility, accessibility, safety, and affordability. Messner says she supports the YMCA but does not agree with this current proposal.
We don't have concerns about the wise decision to consolidate, to build a new space. And we understand their desire to try to stay in the downtown area to enhance the economic development and further the community's master plan. All of that is wonderful. The thing that we have concerns about is taking away parkland in a city that already is depleted in parkland, are a huge concern about the privatization of public land. That is opening a door that should never be opened.
So Muncie's mayor supports the YMCA's proposed move. He says if it's at Toohey Park, more Muncie residents will be able to use it. In the next half hour of Good Morning Indiana, you will hear from the CEO and the president of the YMCA of Muncie.
Well, a $3 million project is expected to make traveling downtown faster and safer. Indigo is reimagining transportation along Delaware Street through downtown with the creation of new bus stops called Super Stops. The Super Stop concept is based off Chicago's Loop Link with a mix of ideas and lessons learned from Indigo's Red Line. Delaware Street is being completely rebuilt. When the reconstruction is complete, Super Stops will sit at Delaware and New York Street and Delaware North Street. Austin Gibble is the project's manager. He says the redesigned street will be better for all vehicles sharing the congested road.
Traffic trying to weave in and out of that right-hand lane to get around buses because they're there a lot. And then processes that it's just a slow and unpleasant experience to ride the bus on those streets because it's so busy.
Well, the project will also bring red painted bus-only lanes to Delaware Street while still allowing traffic to turn right. Construction on Delaware Street and the Super Stops set to start early next year.
The Trump administration is picking up the pace on federal executions despite a surge in COVID cases. The Bureau of Prisons plans 5 more executions this month alone. The first will happen on Thursday. The flurry of executions will end just days before President Trump is set to leave office. Attorney General William Barr defended the action, saying that he'll likely schedule more before leaving office. Barr is urging the Justice Department to continue the executions under President-elect Joe Biden. But here's a historic look at these federal executions. Since 1927, there have been 45 federal executions. Until now, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's administration was responsible for most executions. As of today, the Trump administration is 4 executions from surpassing FDR's record. As we just mentioned, the current administration plans at least 5 more executions before Mr. Trump leaves office.
New tools, training, and initiatives are coming to several Indianapolis agencies and departments. The Indy Autism Project aims to put Central Indiana on the map as a place for people on the autism spectrum to safely live, work, play, and visit. Law enforcement officers, Indigo bus drivers, Indy parks, and other city employees will undergo training to better understand individuals with autism. The city's hospitality and tourism industry will also work to make events more sensory friendly.
I look at this project as a way to lead with kindness, and that's who our city is. We are a kind city who gives grace, and that's what this does, is we look at people and celebrate the differences.
Well, the Indy Autism Project is being funded entirely by donations, including a large contribution from the Autism Society of Indiana.
So the king of racing knowledge, the king of track trivia at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, well, he's retiring. Donald Davidson has served as the track's historian for 22 years. Davidson's last day will be December the 31st. Davidson, who developed a love for auto racing while growing up in Salisbury, England, first visited the Indianapolis Motor Speedway back in 1964. He's believed to be the only person in the world to serve as a full-time historian for a motorsports racetrack. What an icon. And Alyssa Donovan, he made racing history so much fun.
Yeah.
For those of us who are novices, right? Those of us who went out to visit the track every once in a while, he is simply amazing.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard his name quite a few times. We are in for a chilly start today. Temperatures in the 30s across the area, dropping off a little bit this morning into the upper 20s by about 8 or 9 a.m. And that's because we're starting to see those winds start to shift. So they're out of the north right now. They're going to stay out of the north early this morning, and then they're going to start to shift. And that's actually going to help us not feel as cold today. What's going on is we had this disturbance move through last night, and that is bringing us plenty of cloud coverage throughout our day. So our temperatures are not going to warm quite as quickly as expected. So we're going to start with those cloudy skies, continue to see cloud coverage throughout our afternoon, maybe a peak of sunshine here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be another gloomy, wintry day outside. Highs today only into the upper 30s. We're also going to see those winds pick up this afternoon and a warm up on the way still. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
New questions about the American coronavirus vaccine supply. Do we have enough, and how long will people have to wait to get it? I'm Alex Perche in Washington. I'll have details coming up.
Welcome back. It is 5:14. In the last week alone, the U.S. reports more than 1.3 million cases of COVID-19, more than any other week on record, according to the COVID Tracking Project. As ABC's Alex Perche reports, there's new questions surrounding how many COVID vaccine doses will be available to Americans.
With cases of COVID surging across the country, we're learning millions of Americans may now have to wait months longer to receive a vaccine because the U.S. opted to get fewer doses from Pfizer than it could have. The U.S. bought enough to vaccinate 50 million Americans. By contrast, the European Union bought enough for 100 million people with an option to buy more. Now, ABC News confirms the New York Times report that over the summer, Pfizer offered to sell the U.S. government additional doses, but the Trump administration turned them down. Other countries did buy in. Now, Pfizer says it might not be able to get the U.S. more doses until June of 2021. The White House denies the report, a senior official saying it wasn't willing to buy more vaccine doses without making sure it was authorized first. Officials with Operation Warp Speed also telling ABC News that because of vaccines from Moderna and other companies, they will have enough doses for every American who wants to be immunized. That as the country topped 1 million cases in the first 5 days of December. Doctors across the country are losing 90 Americans to the virus every hour. And the peak of the dreaded Thanksgiving surge is still a week away.
The problem is that's going to come right up to the beginning of the Christmas Hanukkah potential surge. So you have a surge upon a surge.
With the number of ICU beds in California dwindling, the state issued a 3-week stay-at-home order to save lives.
Honestly, whatever helps the spread stop, I'm fine with that.
I think it's overreaching.
New York following California's lead, warning it will close indoor dining in areas where hospitalization rates are on track to exceed 90%. Today, President Trump is expected to sign an executive order prioritizing Americans' access to COVID-19 vaccines over the U.S. helping other countries. What's unclear is if this is a response to the Pfizer supply issue or whether the president can prevent an American company from fulfilling lawful contracts with other countries. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
A federal court has blocked the Trump administration's restrictions on TikTok, saying that it could cause irreparable harm. The court ruling on Monday is shutting down TikTok. The application, they say, would not be fair to the company or its 100 million users. The Chinese company ByteDance was ordered by the president to sell the app to a U.S. company over national security concerns. A deal by Oracle and Walmart to purchase the app is still being reviewed by regulators in the United States and China. Monday's court action buys TikTok more time to negotiate a potential buyout deal.
President-elect Joe Biden may live up to his popular nickname on his inauguration day. He earned the moniker Amtrak Joe for commuting by train between Wilmington, Delaware and Washington. This morning, sources say he may take the same route to his inauguration on January 20th, but they say it's just one of the options his inauguration team is considering. Biden started commuting on the Amtrak train while he was a senator in 1972. The 90-minute trips continued on occasion after he became vice president.
Now we want to share some really just great news from an extended member of the WRTV family. We hope that you'll take a look at this. This is really good stuff.
Treatments are done, this course is run, and I am on my way. Okay.
We applaud as well. Kevin Gregory, our chief meteorologist, yesterday on Twitter saying it was an emotional day as he saw his dad ring that bell, claiming victory over his cancer. What a gift, what a blessing any time of year, but especially during this holiday season, Lauren.
Yes, and he is so beloved by so many people here across central Indiana for so many years now. So I think everyone was thrilled to see that.
Yes.
Some great news from the Gregory family
Wonderful
this week.
To see.
Yeah. Well, Alyssa, do we have any good news to share in the forecast? Let's keep the good news coming.
Yeah, I think this is the good news you want to hear after that story. We are going to warm up as we head through the week. Today, though, it's going to be another chilly day. Temperatures right now in the 30s across the area, 34 degrees in Indianapolis. Feels a little more like 29, so not nearly as chilly as it felt yesterday. Our winds are northwesterly right now. They're going to start to shift, though, as we head through the day, so it's not going to feel as chilly out as it did yesterday. We had that really brisk air yesterday. That's going to be a thing of the past. We're going to start to feel a little bit more warm air in the forecast. What's going on is we have the system that moved through overnight that brought us plenty of cloud coverage. So we are starting Tuesday with some cloudy skies, and we'll continue to see cloud coverage throughout your Tuesday. Maybe a peak of sunshine this afternoon, but because of all those clouds, those temperatures are going to struggle to get into the low 40s, which is where we should be this time of year. We will likely stay in just to the upper 30s. Looking ahead to our afternoon, we are going to see those winds pick up a little bit, and that's just as we see that ridge moving into place. That's going to warm us up over the next couple days. So by the afternoon, we're going to see those winds shifting and becoming more southwesterly, and we're also going to see those gusts up to about 20 miles per hour by 11 p.m. By 5 p.m. you're going to start to notice that breeze with that 15 mile per hour wind gust. Looking at that chilly air that's been in place, that is finally moving off to the east, and we have this more mild air that's going to move into central Indiana by tomorrow. That's going to start to shift in tomorrow, and it's going to continue to impact us into Thursday and Friday as well. That mild air is going to take us close to 60 degrees over the next few days, and then we are going to see those chances of showers back in the forecast. Today, though, highs into the upper 30s. Tomorrow, we climb about 10 degrees, 50 degrees for our Wednesday high, 56 by Friday. Now, Friday night is when those changes come back again. We have that southwest flow that's going to help bring in this system just to the south of us, bringing plenty of showers starting late Friday, and then we'll continue to see showers overnight Friday night and into your day on Saturday. So unfortunately, the system is going to hit us just as we are heading into the weekend, and of course we'll let you know just how much to expect at your house when it comes to rainfall totals, but it looks like there's quite a bit of moisture associated with the system at this point. Temperatures today will climb into the upper 30s, mostly cloudy throughout. A little chilly this morning with those temperatures in the low 30s. Tomorrow, 50. Partly to mostly sunny skies, and then plenty of sunshine Thursday. That's really going to be our best day in the forecast. 52 degrees for the high, 56 on Friday. Showers come in late Friday and into Saturday.
Alyssa, thank you so much. We are working for you on this Tuesday with a recall alert surrounding candles that were sold at Dollar Tree stores. Now, this is a big recall, so I want you to pay attention to the close details to this one. Dollar Tree sold more than 143,000 of ADCO's Sure Sense candles. They're labeled with the names Peaceful Stream and Moonlit Waves. The blue candles' flames can cause the glass container to break and cause fire as well as burn hazards. There have been some reports of the wax catching fire as well. Customers, please, you're urged not to light these candles and to call the Dollar Tree store nearest you and ask for a refund.
Significant stress in pregnant women can affect the brains of their fetuses. That's according to the Developing Brain Institute at Children's National in Washington, D.C. The research looks at toxic levels of stress defined as interfering with day-to-day responsibilities. It shows such stress can cause weaker connections between two brain areas tied to higher cognitive functions. The study shows that strong connections between brain areas tied to behavioral and emotional controls.
So, Lauren, plans for a gravel pit in a Noblesville park are off the table for now. New at 5:30 when city officials say the project could be brought back into life. That story and much more coming up right here on WRTV. From dancing in the streets to going for gold, breakdancing, you heard me right, breakdancing will be an Olympic event starting in 2024. The International Olympic Executive Board announced Monday that breaking, as it's called, will debut in Paris. It'll be the first dance sport at the Olympics, and organizers are really hoping that it will attract a much younger audience. The committee says that skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing will also debut in 2024. Those were in the works for the Tokyo Games, which were postponed due to the pandemic. And listen, with Lauren's skills and maybe, my boogie down Bronx moves, Lauren, I think we can maybe form the first GMI breakdancing team for 2024. What do you think?
I mean, this is the closest thing that Alyssa and I will be able to do to get into the Olympics, since we're both in dance. Not breakdancing, but...
I didn't do that.
Yeah. Back when that movie Step Up was popular, I thought maybe I could do breakdancing.
Our viewers don't know what I did. Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, like we're going to form a team.
That's exactly what I did. That right there. That one.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need a little bit more arm strength.
Yeah, I think the sound effects I just gave it is really what it should be.
Yeah.
We are going to see a chilly day today. Those temperatures into the upper 30s, mostly cloudy skies throughout your Tuesday. Not going to feel as cold as it felt yesterday, and that's because we're seeing those winds shift and become a little more southwesterly, and that's to prepare for some warm air that's moving in tomorrow. We are going to see those temperatures climbing into the 50s Wednesday, more sunshine Thursday, 56 Friday, and then rain showers come in this weekend. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, the UK is one of the first to roll out a COVID-19 vaccine. Coming up, the first wave of people to get their first dose this morning.
And plans for a new YMCA getting some pushback. Our own Kelsey Anderson explains why neighbors say it's putting a beloved park in danger. Here at 5:31, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Rafael Sanchez joining us from his home studio in Johnson County. Rafael, good morning.
Nice and warm and toasty here in the official WRTV living room. Alyssa Donovan filling in for our Todd Clausen this morning. Alyssa, I was going to step outside during the commercial, but then I thought, you know what? As you pointed out, tomorrow is going to be much better.
Yeah.
But I'm going to enjoy the day, right?
Yeah, today's a good quarantine day for you. Just stay inside, stay in the warmth, because it is a chilly start today, and it's going to be a chilly end. Temperatures in the low 30s this morning, and then we are going to be just into the mid 30s by the noon hour. What's going on is we had a disturbance move through overnight that brought us plenty of cloud coverage. Those clouds are going to continue to sock us in throughout the day today. What that means is we aren't going to warm as quickly as we would if we had more sunshine. Now, we could see maybe a peak of sunshine later this afternoon, but likely those clouds are going to persist and keep us a little bit mild today, with those temperatures only climbing into the upper 30s. Now, it's not going to feel as frigid as it did yesterday because we're seeing those winds shift and become a little bit more southwesterly. Those are also going to pick up this afternoon. That is ahead of some warm air that's coming our way. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic for your commute. This is I-65 near 38th Street up here on the northwest side. You can see traffic there is traveling smoothly northbound and southbound. No major problems or delays to slow down your commute. Rafael?
Lauren, Indiana is one of the states currently struggling with COVID-19. A new report showing that the Hoosier State had the worst infection rate in the entire country just last week. The COVID Tracking Project says that Indiana was the only state to record more than 1,000 new COVID-19 cases per 1 million people. Indiana had 1,025 new cases per million people for the week of November the 30th through December the 6th. That puts us ahead of the states of South Dakota, Nebraska, Utah, and Minnesota. Here's a look at the latest case numbers. The State Department of Health is reporting 5,700 new cases of the virus. That brings the total number of cases to more than 387,000. 42 more Hoosiers have also died with COVID-19. 5,986 deaths have now been reported since this pandemic began.
Now to London, where the first people are being given doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. ABC's Julia McFarlane is there with an inside look at the distribution process.
This morning, Britain's biggest vaccine program began with patient A, the first person to receive the vaccine as part of the rollout called Operation Courageous, a 90-year-old grandmother named Margaret Keenan in Coventry, England. The UK is the first country in the world to authorize and deploy the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer and BioNTech, a point of pride for the country with the highest death toll in Europe. The scale of the nationwide operation is unprecedented, with the army drafting in volunteers and Britain's National Health Service hiring tens of thousands of extra staff to cope. The drugs arrived in the country last week, transported from the production facility in Belgium in specialist freezer containers, keeping the drugs at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit. 70 hospitals in the UK have been chosen as initial hubs administering the vaccine, where staff already have the specialist equipment needed for storing the vaccines at those extreme temperatures. The British government has slated frontline health staff, the elderly and care home workers to be the first in line. The order determined by which groups are deemed most vulnerable to the infection. The first phase of the operation involves 800,000 doses, and treatment requires 2 doses per person, spaced 21 days apart, meaning 400,000 people will be vaccinated initially, and full immunity starts 7 days after the second dose. Next, the rollout will take place in doctors' practices and emergency treatment centres that are being opened on unused stadiums and conference centres across the UK. The phase of the vaccine programme involving those under 50 will start later in 2021. Julia McFarlane, ABC News, London.
Here at home, good morning to Columbus, Tipton, and Greencastle. Indianapolis shelters and organizations focused on homelessness say that the need right now is at an all-time high. Leaders with Wheeler Mission say they provided beds for more than 1,000 people in central Indiana for the past few nights. Between record numbers and social distancing guidelines, the shelters are quickly just filling up. So Wheeler Mission has teamed up with the city to provide overflow space at local hotels. But Wheeler expects the need for shelter to keep increasing in the coming weeks.
So I think we can expect those numbers to rise. Typically, we do not see our highest numbers at Wheeler until we're about January. So we have a couple weeks to go. And I am concerned about the capacity to meet those needs when that comes.
We have a link in this story on our website at WRTV.com. Also working together, food banks are also having a hard time keeping up with the demand. So Gleaners Food Bank is asking for your help. This is a call to action on this Tuesday morning. The organization is putting out a call for volunteers. Multiple spots needed to be filled for this month. Volunteers would help with the drive-through distribution. For more information about this opportunity, go to our website, WRTV.com.
A proposal to put a gravel pit in Noblesville Park appears to be off the table. Last night, the city tweeted a message saying that Beaver Materials formally withdrew its petition regarding a change of zoning request. The group of residents called Don't Leave It to Beaver pushed back against the proposal, outlining health, safety, and ecological concerns. They made a statement saying that they're relieved and they'll continue to fight against similar proposals in the future. Officials with Beaver told WRTV that they follow all safety and health guidelines, and they're heavily regulated by the government. The city says Beaver Materials can refile the petition in 2021. So the YMCA of Muncie wants to consolidate their 2 facilities into one building, and by building an entirely new facility, and they have their sights set on this decades-old Toohey Park as the location.
And Lauren, this proposal is facing some opposition. Our Kelsey Anderson is with us today in Delaware County, has more this morning from Muncie.
The park serves the Riverside Normal City neighborhood, and it also serves the Old West End neighborhood.
Beth Messner is one of dozens of Muncie residents that doesn't want to see a new YMCA building at Toohey Park.
You find children flying kites, kids running, playing impromptu games of tag and ball, families picnicking.
As of right now, the YMCA has 2 locations in Muncie. They want to consolidate those 2 and make one new facility to better serve the residents and the Y members. I spoke with the president and CEO of the YMCA of Muncie, Chad Zaucha, and he says the Y didn't select this site because of their own personal interests. He says they are willing to locate there because of collective interests of the community.
I think the future of really our city, Muncie, is dependent on sustaining and enhancing the vitality of downtown. So locating the YMCA at Toohey Park is one of the most important strategies to achieve that vitality.
Now, leaders say the YMCA does plan on keeping this public pool here at Toohey Park, but what residents are concerned about is all of this green space being taken away by a 2-story building.
As the 9th largest second-class city in Indiana, we already have less acreage of parkland per resident than any other second-class city in this state. And now we're looking at a city administration that seems to be strongly considering giving away parkland we can't afford to lose to a private entity.
Mayor Dan Ridenour says he urged the YMCA to find a downtown location with bus access so more Muncie residents could utilize the space.
It's right on one of those greenways in our city, so it fits well with the downtown development, and it fits, and their services are very important to our city.
Messner says her and other residents support the YMCA's decision to consolidate and appreciate all the services they offer to the community, but they don't think Toohey Park is the answer.
The thing that we have concerns about is taking away parkland in a city that already is depleted in parkland, are a huge concern about the privatization of public land. That is opening a door that should never be opened.
Mayor Ridenour says this is still in the very early stages and the conversations surrounding this plan have just begun. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. A petition on SaveToohey.org has more than 1,400 signatures. For more information on the plans and to see the announcement from the YMCA, click on this story right now on the WRTV News app. It is a chilly Tuesday morning, and the wonderful Alyssa Donovan is standing by live in Studio A with your forecast. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Raf, and I have a wonderful forecast ahead. Temperatures today going to be a little bit cool, and then we are going to warm up quite a bit as we head through the week. Right now, though, as you head to the bus stop with the kids, definitely want to bundle up. Their temperatures are only going to be in the low 30s this morning, high 30s by the afternoon. We're barely going to get into the low 40s today, which is where we should be this time of year. This afternoon, we are also going to see those winds shift. So yesterday, if you stepped outside, you noticed we had those cold winds out of the north. Today, we're going to switch that up, and those winds are going to be a little more southerly, which means it's going to feel a little warmer outside than it did yesterday, but those temperatures are right where they were yesterday as well. And by the afternoon, wind gusts will be about 25 miles per hour. So we are going to see a breezy day today. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, we're going to continue those temperatures climbing. 50 tomorrow, so about 10 degrees difference from today. And then we are 56 degrees by Friday. Rain chances come into the forecast this weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Some city county council members want to pay tribute to police officers with a street mural. Coming up, their proposal to back the blue.
And Lauren, the importance of representation during the holidays. How the Children's Museum in Indianapolis is helping kids find a Santa that looks just like them. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday, December the 8th. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. A plan is now in the works to create a massive message to support Metro Police. 3 Republican city county councilors introduced a proposal to paint back the blue on Shelby Street. The writing would be similar to the Black Lives Matter mural painted right now on Indiana Avenue that was painted back in August. The new proposal will be discussed during the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee meeting that's set for tomorrow night.
Indiana Representative Jim Banks says he wants to ban stylized face masks on the House floor. He says the masks worn by some members of the House have interfered with the seriousness and decorum of their duties. In a letter to Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Banks cited one representative who wore a mask displaying his campaign logo. Another Oregon representative, Earl Blumenauer, reportedly had one covered in marijuana leaves. Blumenauer responded saying Republicans should focus on helping families and small businesses during the pandemic instead of focusing on mask patterns. Pelosi has not yet commented. President-elect Joe Biden has reportedly made a decision on who he'll nominate for Secretary of Defense. Sources tell CNN that Biden has selected retired Army General Lloyd Austin for the job. Austin would become the first black man to lead the Defense Department if he's confirmed by the Senate. He previously served as the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army under President Obama.
CVS is preparing to distribute the COVID vaccine by adding thousands of jobs. The pharmacy chain says it is looking to hire more nurses, pharmacists, and pharmacy technicians all across the country. They say they need these staff urgently so that they can be prepared when the vaccines are ready to go. CVS says it plans to give millions of the vaccines next year. We are all looking forward to that, but in the meantime, we're going to hang on tight as our Alyssa Donovan gives us the best forecast in central Indiana.
Ooh.
Good morning, Alyssa.
Well, thank you, Raphael. We are starting a little cold today, and throughout the day, we're going to see plenty of clouds. The good news is tomorrow we start that warming trend. The warmest day in the forecast will be on Friday. We are into the mid and upper 50s. Some areas I expect will hit the 60-degree mark. And then this weekend, we do have some rain moving in. Most of that rain is going to happen overnight Friday and into Saturday during the day. Behind that, much colder air will settle back in, and we are going to start next week very chilly once again. Right now, temperatures across the area in the 30s. We're at 34 here in Indianapolis. Those winds currently are out of the northwest about 6 miles per hour. That's making it feel a little chillier, right around 29 degrees. The good news is those winds are going to shift so it won't feel as frigid as what we saw yesterday. What's going on is we had that system move through overnight. That just brought us a little bit of cloud coverage, and we're continuing to see some cloudy skies this morning. Likely we'll see those clouds throughout the day, similar sky to what we saw yesterday, where it's just sort of a gloomy December day. Could see maybe some peaks of sunshine here and there this afternoon, but they won't do us much good for the most part. Those clouds are going to keep our temperatures down today, barely scraping into the low 40s for many locations. As we head into the afternoon, those winds are going to shift and they're going to become stronger. So they'll become more southwesterly, and we'll see those gusts peaking up to about 15 miles per hour right around 4 o'clock. And then by the overnight hours, it is going to be a bit of a gusty overnight with those wind gusts close to about 25 miles per hour right around midnight. So that's the type of wind you might hear just outside your window. Now, why the reason that those winds are picking up is because we are seeing a change in our temperature trend. So we have that chilly air that's been in place that's moving off to the east, and now we have this mild air coming in from the southwest. That's going to move in and bring our temperatures way up over the next couple days, and it's also going to make it possible for a system to move in this weekend. So as that mild air moves in, we're going to start to warm up tomorrow, and then our warmest day is going to be on Friday, 56 degrees for our high. Looking ahead to the next 7 days, we are going to see those chances of rain back in the forecast late Friday and into Saturday, and that's when our temperatures will fall back down as well. Saturday looks like we'll see the most rain that day, and of course we'll let you know what to expect, and then we are back in the 30s by Sunday and Monday.
Alyssa, thank you so much. He was an aviation ace. Legendary pilot Chuck Yeager, the first person to break the sound barrier. Yeager has died. His wife Victoria tweeted from Yeager's Twitter account that the World War II flying ace died just before 9 p.m. last night. A little bit about him. He overcame a poverty-stricken upbringing in West Virginia to become one of the greatest pilots who ever lived. His 55 medals and his record-breaking X-1 airplane are on display at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. Chuck Yeager was 97 years old.
It is 5:50, an important notice for Kia owners today. The automaker is issuing a recall on hundreds of thousands of its vehicles. A total of 295,000 vehicles are impacted because of a fire risk. Kia says the models include some Sorrentos, Fortes, Optimas, Souls, and Sportages. The company says owners of affected models will be notified and dealers will make necessary repairs and inspections for free.
It is a popular, really popular holiday tradition, of course, to take pictures with Santa Claus. But some families finding a Santa that looks like their child can be somewhat difficult unless you visit the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. It is continuing the holiday tradition by including a variety of Santas. You can search on their website their list of certified Santas and see when they're scheduled. Recognizing the importance of representation of all communities, they make sure to have a Black Santa every single year.
We definitely have had that appreciation of families that, either it was a surprise or they sought out our Santas. And so just that recognition, again, of being able to see themselves in the staff and the offerings that we have.
Jennifer, thank you for that. The museum also offers a theater program called Santa Clues, looking at the origin, the story of Santa and how he is portrayed in different cultures. We have a list of all of the places offering visits with Santa on our website. Please visit WRTV.com.
IKEA is now ready to help you furnish your gingerbread house. How you can make these pieces of gingerbread furniture just after the break. Stick around. Welcome back. So making gingerbread houses is a popular holiday tradition, but what about gingerbread furniture? IKEA has created some templates for you that you can, of course, use to put it together yourself. To make them, you start with gingerbread dough, and then you download the templates, cut them out, and use them to cut out the pieces you need out of the dough. You bake the gingerbread and then assemble the pieces using online instructions. Should be a snap. I just have a feeling like they're not going to turn out that great, but if you make the 6 different types of furniture, they can include a bookcase, table, chairs, bed frame, rug, and armchair. And just, Alyssa, anytime you do gingerbread house, you're lucky if it stays together.
Yeah, but you know what? It's IKEA, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a huge IKEA fan, so I actually trust
for
it.
sure.
Those directions can be
Those look way cuter than, I think mine would be like, this is supposed to be a chair, and it's going to just look like a pile of stuff.
Yeah, no,
so.
I'm on board with that. I think that...
give it a go.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Report back.
I'll take some pictures. All right, today we are going to see those temperatures climbing into the upper 30s. Very similar day to what we saw yesterday. You're just going to notice it's not as chilly in the air, and that's because we're seeing a shift in those winds. They'll become more southwesterly, and they'll pick up by the afternoon. We're going to see those gusts close to about 25 miles per hour late tonight. By the afternoon, about 15 miles per hour. Plenty of cloud coverage again today, 39 for our high. Looking ahead to the next couple days, 50 degrees tomorrow, so we're climbing about 10 degrees in just 24 hours. 56 by Friday, then rain chances come in for the weekend.
All right, Alyssa. Well, Indigo is reimagining transportation with new bus stops. Coming up in the next half hour, how they say their new super stops will help make travel downtown faster and safer. And let's take a look outside right now from our tower camera here overlooking the downtown area. You can see clear skies up ahead. Still dark out there this morning. And we'll get a look at your forecast and your top stories coming up on the other side of the break. Stick around.